and welcome. How are we all feeling today? We all know it can be really difficult to be courageous and to stay courageous because life knocks you down, life gets difficult, people are horrible to you, and it just feels like you don't have that fire in you to deal with your fears and deal with the things that scare you. And courage is something that we have to practice when we are unsure, when we need to stand up for ourselves. Because courage is standing up for who you are, what you identify as. It's about dealing with disrespect. It's about dealing with the things that create anxiety and paranoia and your phobias. Because we really can't deal with life circumstances and our problems if we don't have courage. If we don't have courage, then we can't fight our own battles. We can't support ourselves. We can't stand up for people who are in a similar situation as we are. Courage is being able to stand tall, stand up strong. And I want to ask you a question. Is it better to live on your knees or to die on your feet? Is it better to pursue something that you believe so strongly in that no fear can stop you or limit you? Because fear is something of the mental construct. Fear is nothing more than a conditioning of a stimuli and an emotion correspondent. And courage is fighting for yourself when you are weak. It's about fighting for what builds you up and what you value and what you know as right or wrong. But it's important to also understand that courage is not in the absence of fear. No, actually it's in the presence of fear. You cannot be courageous if you don't have fear. It's about facing it head on no matter what. It's about fighting through it and being strong, because there are times in your life when no one is going to support you and where you have to be strong for yourself. And it's about fighting in spite of being afraid. It's about standing up even though you know the consequences are going to be bad. It doesn't matter. You need to fight in spite of fear, in spite of being afraid. When you are so afraid that you don't know what to do and you need a little extra guidance but no one is there, you need to fight for yourself, your own integrity, your own dignity, your own truths as well. And we need to face our fears, because if we keep repressing them and keep repressing them, they're going to eventually trigger us, and that will cause a phobia and trauma as well. So it's really important that you start facing your fears and you start looking at fear head on, because fear is false evidence appearing real. It's something that we connect with. It has a lot to do with an emotion that is connected to a certain stimuli, and we need to break that. And that's what courage is. It's breaking the trauma, it's breaking the fear. And it's also about, courage is also about facing trauma despite its difficulty and how uncomfortable it is. Because if you don't face your trauma, you're going to get triggered easily. Life is going to become very difficult. You're going to be very emotionally dysregulated. You could end up with post-traumatic stress disorder, where you just keep having flashbacks and bad dreams and delusional states, and you can't pull yourself out of it. So it's important that you face your trauma head on and you don't ignore it and you don't repress it, because the more you repress fear, the more afraid you'll become. So it's important that you always manage to process the things that are causing you to feel afraid or uncertain. And it's also about fighting for your rights, fighting for your human rights and the rights of others. When you fight for other people's rights, you fight for your rights that were squandered. You fight for your own rights when you fight for other people's rights. Keep fighting and stay courageous. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that beautiful person. Stay strong wherever you're from. See you next time.